Hello, everybody, and welcome to yet another recipe for adventure. My name is Freebie Wits, and this is my good friend Sai. Sai, say hello.
No,
That was a lot more blunt and forward than usual, and I'm not sure if I appreciate it or not.
I'll
It's
say howdy instead. Howdy, everybody.
I feel like you're gonna break me one day, and when the police find my corpse, you will get away with it.
I mean, there's a lot of records of what's happening right now, but I will have plausible deniability.
Hmm. I don't like this. I don't like this a lot. Now, Sai, I have a question for you. And you know what? For all those viewers at home watching on their computer, please play along as well. You can comment your answer here, if you could, below the video, all that stuff. So the question I'm going to ask, not just you, Sai, but everyone else, is: do you have any DM tricks, specifically of the psychological kind you like to play on your players?
Um, okay, the answer to that is very obviously yes,
Mm-mm.
and we don't have enough time in our usual, setup for me to discuss them all.
No, no, just pick your favorite, or just one of the shorter ones.
One of my favorite tricks that I like to do is the constant seeding, as I refer to, where I will constantly drop little hints,
Yeah.
just vague little things, here, there, everywhere. Like I have a plan, you don't know the plan, but rather than dropping like, hey, here's the one big hint to let you know what's happening, I will drop 100 tiny little fragments here and there so that when it all makes sense and the players understand, oh yeah, you mentioned this before, I can I could be like, yeah, I dropped 100 hints. It took you a while, but the actual trick is don't expect the players to catch on straight away. Instead, slowly drip feed them info bit by bit. That way, when they catch on, it will take them a while. They will feel smart when they if they catch on before the big reveal, and if they don't,
We'll feel like
you have a
dumbasses.
you have a lot of points of reference to point to when explaining everything, so it makes sense.
As someone who's been on the receiving end of this, yes, you can feel like a genius. Yes, you will feel like a dumbass. Or maybe that's just me.
But like the important thing is like sometimes things can feel like they come out of nowhere.
Mm-mm-mm.
But if you can reference like 5 times where you hinted towards something, it's no longer coming out of nowhere. It's that the players failed to pick up on it.
I like that. I really like that. You're putting the onus on them a bit.
Yes.
I like that quite a bit. Um, my favorite psychological trick to play on players is that, generally speaking, sometimes with certain players, it can feel like pulling teeth to get them to do anything or to move anywhere. Maybe it's because of a character motivation that you did not like foresee happening or something like that. But generally speaking, like if you speak out of character, like, "Hey, I need you guys to go on this thing," you can get them to do that. But DMs, for the most part, avoid that. I find the best way to motivate a player to do anything is to simply steal from them. And I don't just mean having a pickpocket brush past a character and take their money. No, that will piss them off for sure and have them motivated to do things. That counts as well. But also to steal things that were promised to them. So if a character says, "Hey, I'm going to pay you, I don't know, all this money to do this quest," and then you come back to the quest giver getting robbed and having their stuff taken that was promised to the party will hunt down that offending NPC to the ends of the earth. So you can essentially go, it's like, I need the players in this location. How do I get them there? Easy. You take something, specifically the word, take something that belonged to the players and put it there.
If I can have a quick little second, like, here's a nice little bonus round.
Oh, yeah, yep.
Because I like your answer as well. My one of my other favorite tricks I love to do is just ask, "Are you sure?" Because I ask it not only in situations where the players are doing something dumb, but when they're doing something smart too. That way, they never know if it's me actually being like, "Are you sure this is a good idea?" Instead, it just becomes it just is like a moment for them to stop, think about what they're doing before they decide if they like the idea or not.
So is this just you making people paranoid?
Yep.
You son of a bitch! I really think.
There are plenty of situations where I ask, "Are you sure?" where it is perfectly fine to do what your plan is. But I will ask you anyway. I will do it on occasions to make you think about it before you do something stupid. But I will just as much ask you it when it's perfectly fine to do your current action. And I'm just asking you guys just so you've actually properly thought out your course of action.
Okay, so normally I agree with you on a lot of things, but this is one point I am going to disagree with you. Because when I ask, "Are you sure?" I'm trying to get my players to not ruin their own fun, essentially. Like, I don't mind if the players do dumb things.
Well, I do that, like, I do it for legitimate reasons as well.
Yeah, no, that's fine. But, like, I feel like if you do it for reasons outside of that, you might desensitize the player.
I've found the opposite. The players have gotten a lot more keen. Whenever I ask, "Am I sure?" everyone stops and thinks about things properly every single time.
You say they get more keen, and I'm not going to name any names, but, like, I know there are people out there who will take what you say and use it as, like, either believe you're egging them on or, like, be too careful.
I mean, it goes both ways, right?
I get. All right.
It has worked for me. It might not necessarily work for everyone else.
Okay.
But I can confirm, "Are you sure?" has worked for me, both in situations where it has been just like a dumb idea, but also just to make sure that the party actually agree on an idea.
Okay. I'm preaching to the choir here a tiny bit, and a lot of people probably already know this, but okay. And I'm only saying that because of what you said. All our techniques and strategies may not work for your group because every social dynamic, every group has their own in-jokes and history. What I said
everyone is different.
Exactly, everyone is different. Like, for all I know, if I have an NPC steal from your group, your character might say, "Clearly they need it more than we do. Let's let them have it for charity's sake." And then just let that plot hook just disappear, for example. It is definitely what's worked for me, and by the sounds of it, Sai thinks it'll work for him as well, or has seen it work without trying it specifically. We are not running this video as a guide on how to do stuff. We are essentially a let's play, D&D let's play without the actual play. We are the D&D let's make.
Yes. And besides, we're asking for psychological tricks.
Yes.
And the trick with psychological tricks is that they work on the human brain, and the human brain is a complicated, tangled mass of whatever dog video is playing in your head at that particular time.
Mine's a cat video. Okay.
And see? There we go.
Yeah, so if anybody has any psychological tricks that work with your specific players, please share it with me. I need a good laugh. Anyways, last we left off, we had Father Giovanni send the players and the merchant, and you know what? I'm going to put the merchant into this the church layer just quickly, just so for the sake of continuity. Yeah, here we go. He's gonna say hello over here, and he's gonna be over there.
He could get himself a name and a token potentially later.
Yeah, yeah, we can give him a proper name and everything. Yeah, he's just not nameless merchant anymore. He's got something. We can come up with it later. So he's there for continuity's sake. So merchant is there, and the players, of course, start in the cart. And not freehand. We want a little rectangle. I mean, the rectangle isn't strictly necessary, but I'm a fan of like Super Robot Wars, and they do this thing where it's like you have deployment zones. Is that what they call it? Deployment zones?
Deployment zones, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I've always liked the idea of having deployment zones and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure they have it in XCOM 2 as well, I think. I don't remember. Yeah, my point is a lot of turn-based RPGs need deployment zone type things, and I'm a fan of them, even if they're like really basic.
A little bit of flexibility to have like who's where.
Yeah.
But also within the zone.
I mean, that said, like as a DM, if a player says, "Oh, I'm sneaking like really far behind the cart in the trees to the side," I don't see any reason why you can't let that happen.
Yeah.
It just might make the stealth check a bit harder or something like that.
Yeah. Be flexible.
Yeah, but be flexible. Anyway, so we got some goblins. So let me just double check what the quest says about this. The merchant's going to drive a cart with the players hiding underneath. Let's change that to a wagon. With players hiding underneath a large tarp, they will be traveling through the south road before the cart is... Okay, wagon is attacked by goblins. Players must roll a stealth check at advantage, DC 9, because, as we discovered, goblins are terrible at seeing stuff, apparently.
Well, they are little gits. They're not smart. And they're not wise either.
They're a bunch of gits, yes. Note the players can choose to fail the stealth check, all that stuff. They will target the merchant first if all the players succeed on their... Oh, merchant and horse, actually, we should say. The horse and merchant first. Yeah, we go. Because we do have a little horse now. And we gotta throw in some goblins. Goblin. I'm pretty sure they're some of the free assets as well. Goblins.
Well, you don't need to go too far because I happen to have some goblin stat blocks.
Oh, very nice.
Like they both have the same token at the moment, but basically what I've done is goblins generally have a sword and shield, or a short bow.
I think
the
I see
that they're on the same stat block, so I just separated them.
Oh, okay, because I actually see some goblins already after putting in the search bar. I've got one with sword and shield, like you said. I've got one with a two-handed axe, or at least two-handed by goblin standards. And then I've got
I've got
oh my gosh, that's adorable.
Yeah, I've made well, the same token. They could use a separate token that would make it easier. But one of them is an archer, and one of them is like a sword and shield.
But they're both wearing clubs. And we got clubs.
Because I'm just using the default token for the time being.
Okay. The reason why hang on. So these are the... Maybe we want to use these guys specifically.
Awesome. Then what I will do is I will quickly do that. I will set the Goblin Bruiser.
So what is Goblin CR? Please remind me.
So the regular Goblin is pretty simple. He is I believe, CR 1/4. A little bit more dangerous than the average bandit. To be fair, the average bandit is about as dangerous as a sheep. But goblins are a little bit more dangerous because they're conniving. Basically, they dodge well.
That goblin art looks kind of weird now that I'm looking at it. Something.
The head, right?
No, it's not just that. It's the arm.
they're winding back like a baseball swing, but their head's in front of it all, so it just looks really weird, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me just Goblin Bruiser, and we will use this token instead. And then likewise, you can be the Goblin Archer. 7 HP, 13 AC, and update default token. Cool. So when I drag on the Bruiser, and when I drag on the Archer, gone.
Just gonna double check how many hit points a horse has. Panther, Mastiff. Wait, why isn't this alphabetical? That's annoying. It's got Mule. Wait, is it alphabetical? Wait, what? Giant Eagle, Hawk, Imp, Lion, Mastiff, Mule. I'm just looking through the player's handbook because I swear to God there was an actual horse, but it's got. Riding horse, here we go.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not just horse, it's like riding horse and war horse.
Why is hair a stat you can put in?
Familiars.
Hair? And it's got an armor class of 10. And the merchant, you know what? He doesn't need to be too tough. We'll just give him... you know what? We'll be generous. He's tougher than a goblin. We'll say he's got 8 hit points. And we'll just say he has 10 AC as well. There we go. Yeah. I don't know how common this practice is, but Sai and I both like to have the second like bar to be like represent AC, and then we use the third red bar.
You
to
always do it as a bar. Oh, I didn't want you to interview. You always do it as a bar. I like to do it as just a singular number, which is just putting it in the first, but not the second slot.
Does it still show up that way? No, it doesn't.
Well, yeah. No, if you just click on the token, it shows you the number.
Oh yeah. I guess it doesn't really matter. I guess it makes it less clunky.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there we go.
Less visual clutter until you needed the info. And then you just click on the token and just see, like, oh, yep, Goblin Archer has 13, Goblin Bruiser has 15.
Okay.
Do you want me to find or make a stat block for this third type of Goblin with, like, the axe?
I guess we can just change it to, like, equipment, because, like...
yeah, I could actually just duplicate the stat block and just give it an axe to have an axe variant.
Yeah, I think just give it an axe, like, otherwise... So it's slightly less AC, and then, like...
Yep.
So, like, just a more offensive version of the Bruiser, I say.
Yeah.
So we call him Goblin Cutter, I guess.
I've already named him Goblin Berserker, but...
Oh, yeah, okay, that works. Oh, no, Berserker sounds too badass for these guys. Berserker implies that they can rage. Maybe we can make that a Goblin boss encounter later.
Well, how about Goblin Angry Person?
I was just swallowing some tea and almost did not swallow it right. Goblin, Angry Goblin. Let's compromise. Call him Angry Goblin.
Angry Goblin. Yes. One of my goals is to break you. I am glad I'm getting closer and closer.
Alright, so Merchant's gonna drive.
So that would be a battle axe is what this guy has, I imagine. And
the goblins and potentially make the assault on their camp easier. Merchant will volunteer to be bait.
The size. Okay, that checks out to me. So, if this goblin has the same stats of a regular goblin, his attack stats are hilarious.
Oh.
So that's a little roll. Oh, he got a 2 on these dice.
So it's literally just a +1. So his 2 attack is terrible, but like his damage is slightly better.
He has a D10 -1.
Oh my god.
Because the goblin has 8 strength normally, right?
Wow. Wait, hang on. The fact that they're two-handing it doesn't change anything?
Nope. Well, him two-handing it gives it a D10 rather than a D8.
Huh. That's actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
Those poor gobbos.
So, yep. They can potentially do up to 9 damage in a hit, which is more than what the bruiser can. By 1.
Angry goblin. I love it.
To be fair, with this kind of stat distribution, the goblin bruiser ends up being probably the most dangerous.
Really?
The angry goblin is probably the easiest. The goblin archer is okay. The archer's still really dangerous. The bruiser is really dangerous. The angry goblin is the easiest one. They have terrible to hit, and their damage, while technically the best, is very unreliable.
Right, because dexterity, short swords, of course.
Yeah, they're more dex fighters than anything, and this goblin just has a giant axe, which is intimidating. So what I might do is I might give this little goblin intimidation bonus.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, I'll give him like a huge bonus to intimidation, but realistically, it is a not very dangerous goblin.
Not at all. What the heck is going on here?
I think that is hilarious.
Did we accidentally make a joke encounter?
Well, I mean, what I would do, right, is like we have this battle here.
Yep.
I would have 2 angry goblins. So just one of you, like, and another one like over here. And then like 1 bruiser and like 1 archer in a tree for the time being. As a first encounter. So what's really good is that we can use angry goblins as like just muck waves.
Yeah,
extra fodder.
So I was just thinking of like the quest, right? It's like, hang on, why would the merchant need to be bait if the players can just go to the goblin camp straight away? Like, what's the point of this? So I did write down a thing that the idea of doing this is to draw out the goblins and potentially make the assault on their camp easier.
Yeah.
So I think we can like make a slightly bigger group.
Yeah. Well, in that case, we will just add a couple more angry goblins.
Yeah, there we go. And then we can have some. And then in the actual goblin camp thing, we can just change it so that this room is empty, or this room has 2 less angry goblins, or something like that, and that'll make the encounter much easier.
Yeah. So I have put 5 angry goblins, 1 goblin bruiser, and 1 goblin archer. The major threats will be the bruiser and the archer, who can actually hit you for decent damage. And if these angry goblins are lucky, they can hurt you pretty bad. If they are lucky.
Alright, so goblins will target the horse and merchant first if all the players succeed on their stealth check. If the goblin bruiser is brought is killed, then whichever player killed them gets a free intimidation check with a bonus equal to the damage they dealt. Intimidation DC. What's the? Because I like the idea if they kill the goblin.
I might actually change it from Goblin Bruiser to Goblin Slicer. I think that fits better than Bruiser.
Oh yeah, because he's got a sword rather.
Yeah.
So what's a good like intimidation roll for like the angry goblins to like lose their nerve and like
so
not necessarily to like flee, but at least like lose their nerve. It's like, oh no, the guy in charge is dead.
They're little gits, right? I like to view goblins as just like little gits that are problems. They are like when things are going their way, they're super cocky. When things aren't, they get really spooked easy.
Yeah.
So I would say like DC 12 or 13.
Okay, DC 12.
A bit on the lower end.
All goblins now roll at disadvantage to hit. Okay, so if the Goblin Bruiser is... Oh, not Bruiser, Slicer, I should say. Slicer is killed, then whichever player killed them gets a free intimidation check with a bonus equal to the damage they dealt. Intimidation DC 12, all goblins now roll at disadvantage to hit. I'm just going to make a little note underneath. The goblins only care if the Goblin Slicer is killed because they're the biggest bully out of the bunch. Actually, yeah, in that case, do we want to make the Goblin Slicer a bit buffer? Like, not by much, like maybe give him 12 hit points?
Well, what I can do is just literally give this guy a hit dice, right?
Oh, yeah.
Their hit dice is a 2d6.
Oh.
Or is a d6, I should say.
Yeah.
He has two creature levels. I'll give him a third creature level. So a d6 rolls a 3 or a 4. So his HP will go from 7 to 10.
Yeah. 10 hit point Slicer. Why isn't it? Oh, I see.
Slicer. And I have to actually update that on the default tick. Cool. Because technically he's a base goblin, but I took away his ranged option. So giving him some extra hit points to compensate sounds fair. The Goblin Archer is basically just a regular goblin without a shield. Because they're focusing on range attacks. So usually a goblin using its short bow will never get the chance to use its shield anyway. And the angry goblins are crazy. They are very angry.
So one of the goblins looks like it's in charge. If the Goblin Slicer is killed, then whichever... Yep, so they're the biggest bully of the bunch, essentially. You know what? I kind of want to do one thing. Advance, set dimensions. I'm going to make them from 70 pixels to 72 pixels. There we go.
There's extra 2 pixels of height. Makes all the difference.
Yep. Like, can't even tell, but it's there.
He knows it.
He knows it. I assume the rest know it too if they panic and... Alright.
So yeah, this is a good little first encounter. We will reduce the horde by... The camp will have 5 less angry goblins, 1 less slicer and 1 less archer. Which we can note. Easy enough.
4B.
From the camp.
The Goblin camp. Oh. That was a bit scary. Did my internet drop out for a second there, or was that just me?
It was like a little internet hiccup. I don't think it made too much of a difference.
Excellent. So, Do we want the players to give the players the ability to interrogate the goblins? Actually, like,
Um,
I don't want to like advertise it to them specifically, but like,
I mean, if you already know the location of their camp, like, yeah, if that happens in gameplay, let that happen. But I don't know what information they could get from the goblins that would actually be helpful.
I can think of a couple things. Number one, like, what kind of defenses do you have? How
I
many
suppose.
how many
Yeah,
of
okay.
you are there? That sort of thing.
If you want to interrogate a goblin like that, go for it.
Hmm. The goblins, after being defeated, can be interrogated if at least one is still alive. They can reveal the following information with a successful intimidation DC 5 check.
Absolute gits.
Yep. There are X amount. Actually, no, they can't count that high. There are lots of us, at least as many fingers and toes as I have. We also have a big one in charge, and we have, what else? Do we want to put traps in, or like
Oh.
special like monsters like wargs or something like that?
Ooh. I think a monster of some kind could be cool. What's your thoughts? Oh, that might be a bit too dangerous. Hmm. Yeah, that might be a bit too much. What would make? Because I think having a beastie of some kind could be good.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Yeah, yeah.
Maybe an actual animal of some sort,
Like a panther or something.
or a cave bear, a lion. Um, maybe a giant.
I just like the idea of them having something that they haven't quite tamed, and the players can like sort of sick on them.
Hmm, giant hyena sounds kind of cool. Though this area is a bit colder, it doesn't quite make sense for a hyena.
It is
Giant
closer.
toad.
Something a bit closer to the sea, but not necessarily at the sea. Well, what about a giant eagle? And they've like captured it.
The giant eagle I was kind of looking at, that could be pretty good.
Mm-mm. But then
As
we
we,
don't. No, we don't even call it a giant eagle. We just use the stats of a giant eagle, and then we call it a giant sea eagle. No, not sea eagle. Seagull.
giant seagull.
Yeah, a giant seagull. And then,
Oh
but the goblins
boy.
don't know what it's called, so they just call it a giant big bird. We
Yeah, we've got a big bird. Dangerous big bird.
bird dangerous. Ate one of us, but we have it locked down. So we have a big one in charge, so that could be like, I don't know, hobgoblin or something like that.
A hobgoblin, a bugbear, maybe an ogre.
Yeah, he doesn't know the difference. It's like it's just bigger than us. Um, yeah. So the DC 5 intimidation check. Yeah, actually, you know what? Hang on. I'm just gonna copy and paste this. DC 0, DC 1 check. There are lots of us, at least as many of my fingers toes as I have.
Yep.
There we go. So he will always reveal something. Just,
Mm-hmm.
you know how useful that
Yep.
something is different. So hang on. How have I done this in the past with the DC checks? Did I? Okay, yeah, I have put them into like. Hang on, let me just do this properly. Following information. Alright, so Intimidation DC 1 check, he reveals there's lots of us, at least as many fingers and toes as I have. Intimidation DC 5, there's lots of us, at least as many fingers and toes as I have. We also have a big one in charge, and we have a big bird, dangerous. 8 one of us, but we have it locked down. So, so there are 4 angry goblins here, 2 archers, and a goblin slicer. So if we go
5 angry goblins.
Oh, you put a 5th one somewhere?
He's
oh,
down
yes, you
below
did.
Near the slicer.
Oh, there's only 1 archer. I didn't realize.
Yep. 1 archer, 1 slicer, 5 angry goblins.
Gotcha. Alright, so we're going to the camp right now. Oh, actually. South Road. Hang on, I'm just gonna select use. Control C. Just so that we have their stat blocks and whatnot. Control V. So I'll just put you guys in the middle and spread you around later as we need them. Alright, so where do the players come in from? Actually, do we want to put like a big 10 at the bottom right or something like that? To like signify where the bugbear or the boss is?
If you want.
Yeah. I just want to make it so that they can't come in through there.
Well, if you just... I mean... It's just the edge of the map, right?
I guess. I just don't want them thinking that's another exit or entry. That's all.
Yeah.
So, free object, tent. There we go. That does the trick, I think. Yep, alright, there we go. That's fine. Alright, so the players enter from the top. Oh, yep, rectangle. And they can deploy any way they want. And I want it to be clear before they get in. Goblin camp. This area has heavy forest cover that almost blocks out. That blocks out any direct sunlight, leaving only ambient lighting and the like. This area is considered low light. So low light humans can still see in, right? For like 30 feet or something?
Low light, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Leaving only ambient lighting and the like. This area is considered low light. Alright. I don't know if that can... I can't remember what bonuses and disadvantages low light gives otherwise, but I'm sure it has stuff to do with stealth.
You can hide inside low light, that type of stuff.
So, we've got to put like numbered areas everywhere. Would you like to do that?
Well, in that case, let me get my numbers.
Yes.
So, that is too small. There we go, that's better for a number.
Beautiful.
1. Alright, come on. 2. Maybe like 3, and then 4 down here. I imagine this clearing is like its own thing.
Yeah,
5,
I was just thinking that.
6, and then 7, and then finally 8.
I like that. Okay, so I'm thinking.
So this is a bit of a bigger dungeon.
Yes.
Not everything has to be filled with enemies.
No.
But we do have at least 20 goblins that we need positions of.
I want to have a big campfire in the middle of like 5 at the very least. So I'm thinking for the middle, maybe they're cooking up something. What do you like? A big roast or something like that?
Maybe like a boar or something.
Yeah, yeah. Put the boar some. Oh wait, that's an eagle, not a seagull. We need a seagull.
I don't have a seagull token.
Damn it! Oh, okay. Wait, hang
Why
on.
would I? Why would I have a seagull token? That
Everybody
is,
needs a seagull token. Okay.
well,
All right.
then you're gonna have to go find one, or I could like maybe try to make one, but yeah, I do not have a seagull token.
I
Yep.
request the derpiest looking seagull you can find. All right. I'll start laying out all the angry goblins everywhere
Yep.
as much as I can, and I'll see about like designing the map and stuff like that. I think weapon rack can go over here. Wait, really? That's a premium asset? I swear to God that I had a weapon rack already. Rack. Guess not. Weapon. Guess not. Alright. Okay, so South Road, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 angry goblins. Note, if the goblins from 4A were killed, then move the goblins in areas 3 and 5. Okay. I think that's everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. Okay. Lumber. Nope. Log. So I'm just trying to build this area as best as I can. Let's say wood, because I can see that's not working. Ba da 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 da. I'm trying to make a little lumber mill area. So like to explain where they're getting the wood from. Lumber, and the idea is that they're cutting down the wood for the fire and such like that. Man, I am just not getting what I'm looking for.
Sometimes it's hard to find the exact thing that you need, right?
Yeah. Like, I can't even find stuff from the web, and I swear to God that I did find stuff from the web already, because...
Yeah, sometimes it's like you've seen it before and you try to find it again and it's just non-existent.
Yeah, let's try barricade, because we might need barricade later anyways. Okay, we can use this as the stack of wood, actually. Yeah, okay, that could be the stack of wood. Control V.
There we go. Is this suitable?
Okay, I'll have to see what you're talking about, but where have you put it? Oh my god, yes. That is perfect.
Yes.
Maybe we can put him in number 2?
Sure. So just to let everyone know, this is an image I did get get online. Well, the initial image I got offline from Pixabay, from someone called Richard's Drawings. It's royalty free. I'm allowed to use it, but it does say if I want to shout out, I can. So this is a lovely little cartoon picture of a seagull from Richard's Drawings. So thank you to
Excellent.
him.
Excellent. Alright, I'm going to put a cage on him then. And the players, of course, can... Gosh darn it. I typed in cage into the Roll20 thing, and do you know what it's popped up with?
Nicholas?
Yes. Why is he so handsome? Oh, there's a Luke Cage in there.
Okay.
But yes, it's mostly Nicolas Cage just randomly. Okay, screw it. We'll just I'm just gonna cheat and give the giant seagull a whatchamacallit, the status effect of netted. There we go. Okay, so we have an area where they're doing wood. We got a little area where they're just chatting amongst each other, and we have a little area where they've got food. Roast. I misspelled roast completely. Roast. Here we go. Searching purchases. And nothing useful. Okay, never mind. All right, so for 7 and 6, area 7s and 6, what do we want to put in them? What do you think?
Well, first off, let's work out how many goblins we got already.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
So quick count: 300 goblins in, three more in there. So that's 5.
I'm thinking for area 3 and 5, those two can be empty if they all got killed in the.
Yep, because that is the initial squads, right?
Yes, exactly.
Cool.
That's my thought.
So, let's put another slicer or 2 somewhere, because they're slightly stronger goblins, but they should also be kind of around the place a bit.
Sure, like 1 in 6 and 1 in 7, maybe.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't even want anything in 7 specifically. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna put one with the seagull, giant seagull. Yeah, so 1 in 6, and
Yep.
7 I think could be like a little living air, like a separate area that the goblins don't come into because it's where their boss is roughly.
Yeah. Well, okay. So, there's only one archer on this map, so we should probably put some archers down in number 6.
Ah, yes.
Maybe like
A
one
target.
slicer, one slicer and 3 archers with like a bullseye target. Things like commanding
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, training them and all that stuff. Hang on. I think there is actually a free one, but it's not a bullseye target. It's something else. Like, I thought it was a training dummy. But no. Oh my god, this is frustrating. Alright, back to the web. Training dummy.
You know, I'm going to do this the slightly more long way by just actually looking at all the assets.
It's probably smart. You know what? Scarecrow.
Maybe a bale of hay.
Oh, a bale of hay could be good as well.
Yeah.
Put it on and see how it looks. Ah, gosh Dang it.
Make it like that.
Yeah. Maybe a bit,
Um,
make it a bit darker. Can we change the tint on that?
uh, the correct answer to that is technically yes.
There we go.
Yeah, I don't see like a training dummy in the list of like free object. There's a bunch of free maps though that apparently we have.
Huh.
Interesting. I didn't realize that we just had a bunch of those. Thank you, Roll20, for just having a bunch of like random stuff.
Mm-mm-mm.
Oh my god.
Oh, what'd you find?
So there's a couple of like really cool like bear tokens. I'm gonna put them in 7.
Oh.
So
Oh, yeah, that's
so
the one I
yeah,
used originally.
yeah, really cool bear token.
That's the one.
Other
Yeah.
other really cool bear token.
Oh.
And then finally, third bear token.
Oh my god, that's adorable.
Yeah, I saw it. I'm like, hello. And yeah, apparently like these 3 assets are done by like particular people.
Mm-mm-mm.
And this one is Yui Kami. He's done a couple of other like. Oh my god.
Is that a cockatrice?
Yeah, cockatrice.
I love that. I
Oh my
love.
god. I'm look. This is like the first time I'm really like delving into these like things, right?
Uh-huh.
But it gets better. I don't know. I don't know if I call this better, but they have animated
Oh my
tokens.
goodness.
A couple of them. Most of the dragons, but still. Anyway, I should clean this up. I'm you're structuring this area of cool stuff, and I'm just like, oh my god,
You
what
say
is this?
cool, but I'm kind of like just vomiting random stuff here. So these like things here, we could let the players loot them, but like
Yep.
I think we want to like make it clear that these belong to the merchants and like the villages and stuff like that.
Yeah, basically looted materials.
So it's like you can be like sort of what's the word? Um dishonest and take them for yourself, but like just make I think we just get to spell it out to the players like these belong to people and stuff like that.
Yep.
So we'll have like names and symbols on them. Anyways, do we want to? What do we actually want to throw at the players? A bugbear or
Oh,
hobgoblin?
So if it is going to be a boss by itself, for level 2, we want something that can hit kind of hard.
And bugbears hit pretty hard.
Bugbears are strong, but I don't know if he's worth being it by himself. Because like a bugbear is CR1,
Oh, I guess so.
so we could go with like the bugbear chief, which is like CR3. So a bit, so he'd be like a tough fight for the party. But he might be a bit too strong by himself.
I mean,
You know what I should do? Let me type in goblinoid and see what I can find. Hobgoblin Iron Shadow CR2. Goblin Cyberroller.
hobgoblin. I'm just looking up the.
Yeah, because if it's like hobgoblins, then like the Iron Shadow is potentially a good choice. They have a little bit of spell casting. They're kind of like a monk. Um,
And it is a fairly small area, so it's like it's gonna be.
Oh, 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 oh! I want to so bad.
What have you done? What's this? What are you looking at?
Um, maybe not the goblin hucker. Give me a second. I need to find one of my favorite. Yes, he's here.
What are you looking at? I'm concerned now.
So, I mentioned before an ogre, right?
Yes.
That an ogre might be kind of cool.
Uh huh.
But the base ogre, he hits a little hard because he uses a great club. But when I was looking for things, I found the Goblin Hucker, which is basically a ogre siege engine that fires goblins. Not suitable here,
But we gotta use it sometime.
but there is something similar in the ogre Howdar. And what the ogre Howdar is it is an ogre, but he has a small fortress on his back,
Oh.
which in which he basically has a giant backpack, which four small creatures, such as goblins, can ride inside to like make melee attacks or shoot.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
That sounds kind of fun.
yeah. So it'd be like an ogre with four goblins.
I was also gonna suggest maybe orcs, but like, mm, do we want to? Okay, so we gotta determine: do we want an ogre, a hobgoblin, a bugbear, or even an orc, perhaps?
Orc also works pretty good. Not gonna lie. Like there's like various kinds of orc as well. I like CR2, which would be really good.
Uh huh.
Like the Eye of Grumsh, for example.
Oh. Do we want to make it a? How tough is it for a level 2 party to take on a CR3 creature, actually, would you say?
It is doable, but tough. The biggest issue with a CR3 creature is not so much just like the CR, but rather how much damage they do in a hit. Because
Okay.
if they do too much damage in a hit, that's a bit too big of a problem.
Alright.
And also, they will be coming out of a battle with other goblins potentially taking damage.
Alright, let's go with the orc then, in that case. Well, tell
You
me
want?
about this CR2 orc, the Ire Grummish, you said?
Yeah, yeah. There's the Orc Claw of Lothric, the Orc Eye of Grumsh, and the Orc Hand of Uetris. I'm thinking Grumsh. I'm a really big fan of Grumsh. Or we can go slightly off kilter and rather than make it a bit more simple and go an Orog.
What's an Orog?
So an Orog is basically like a special super buff orc. The like the best way to describe an Orog is well a special like super orc.
Oh.
That they are they like think like you got your regular orcs, and then every now and again there is just an orc that is born bigger and smarter.
Okay. In terms of armaments, what does this orc have?
So an Orog, the standard Orog uses plate armor.
Uh-huh.
Might be a bit much. If I because I'm going to compare like the Orog and the Eye of Grumsh at the moment.
What's the Eye of Grumsh have?
He's wearing like ring mail and uses a shield.
Can we reflavor any of it? Because like all the orc models I have are like
Yeah.
unarmored, except maybe this guy. What's he look like? Oh, he's a bit blurry. Yeah, he might have leather, maybe.
Well, he could wear ring mail underneath like.
Yeah, no, you are correct. Yes. All right. Um. Okay. How about we use? So you're thinking of using the one with the sword?
Technically, neither of them use a sword, but I can easily change that.
Mm-mm.
Um,
Or like, if we want to make it a bit easier, we can give him a CR3 orc and then take away the armor.
Well, you know what? Like this token to the left. I'm liking that token. It looks cool.
This one?
He's using just like a scimitar there, right?
Yeah, by looks of it. Alright, we'll get
So
rid of
what
those two.
so what I can do is I'm gonna get the Orog and I'm going to adjust its stat blocks to make him more in line with this guy here.
Hmm.
Provided that it doesn't screw me like that. Okay, fine. Be that way. I will just take a regular orc and I will update him into an Orog stat block
Alright.
and then adjust it accordingly. Sometimes Roll20 has what you need, sometimes it does not. So, I could do some very simple, easy things. First off, he has a scimitar, right?
Yes.
Scimitars can technically use dex, they can also use strength, so his stat block doesn't matter, but they are a d6 weapon. But a d6 plus 3 slashing damage
Can still hurt a
is,
lot.
yeah, it can still hurt a lot.
I just realized the time as well. It's getting a bit late.
It is getting a bit late. Well then, why don't I stat up this guy in between sessions? Because we've got the idea he's a powerful orc with a scimitar, right? Then I will just give him his stats next time, or in between sessions, and we can potentially discuss it next time.
And then we can like come up with the story, a bit more of
Yeah.
the story, and we can describe the areas a bit more in the actual document and all that stuff, and like
Yeah,
what the goblins
we
are
can-
doing there.
Yeah, we can flesh out what little details we need. But we got a camp. We have the basis for a boss that I'm currently statting out. Yeah, should be good.
Oh, that's beautiful. All right. And oh, actually, I'm gonna put one more thing in before I forget, just so that a thing that we can do for like our shoot discussion on all that stuff. Let me just go back to sheep tree. Gonna copy you, paste you, and I'm going to put you maybe over here, a random bandit with all the angry goblins. And
Awesome.
we're gonna make him very dead. Bleh. He's dead now.
How did this happen?
How did this happen? What is he doing here? Find out next
Yeah.
time in the next episode of Recipe for Adventure. Comment, like, subscribe, and as always, bye bye.
Ciao.